sad at the same time. I can choose what state I want to be in. But I have to recognize, the Yetzer Hara is trying to get me to be depressed. So you start thinking about all kinds of crazy things. You start imagining things and thinking of, where is this coming from? So people think like that. They think, I don't know what to do. My brain is going everywhere. Something's happening to me. No, nothing's happening to you. You're perfectly fine. You just have a lot of constriction. So that's the problem with that. Now, of course, if you watch CNN all day long, and if you watch garbage all day long, and if you focus on other people's lives all day long, it's going to be much harder for you to fight those little thoughts. I always told people, if you dream that you are on a sitcom, you're watching too much TV. If you dream that you're part of the Friends cast, you're watching too much TV. It's like you gotta. So of course, these thoughts come basic. So your job is to what? Not to believe them. That's the first part. So you understand, you are co-creator. So now we're going to understand what is spiritually happening to a person when he's thinking good thoughts and when he's thinking negative thoughts. Okay? Obviously, you don't think negative thoughts when things are great for you, correct? When you're in a state of expansion, business is good, life is good, you're going to think a lot of positive thoughts. You're going to get the negative thoughts when you have that storm, that constriction, which, guess what, has to happen every single day in your life. Every single person has to go through a constriction. Just from the day to the night, you have to go through a constriction. That's called a tzimtzum. God has to sometimes, He's always there, but sometimes God, in order to create a creation, He had to create what? He had to vacate His space. So He had to remove Himself from the picture, even though He's always hidden, but He had to remove Himself from the picture, contract His light, so you can create. Your job when there's darkness is to create. Create what would you like in this situation to happen. Now, you have to understand that you're in a constriction. You understand there's different states. You can have, for example, you're in retail. Oh my God, I don't understand. Yesterday I did 10,000, today I did 0. You didn't do nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with your business. There's nothing wrong. You shouldn't close your business. Sometimes you have to go through that $10,000. You have to have that 0 constriction to get back to the next 12,000. It's just the way life works. And if you fight it, you're going to suffer. You're going to suffer. People suffer because they fight the pain. Instead of accepting the pain, they resist the pain. You understand the problem? The more you resist pain, the more you're going to suffer. If you say, Hashem, I realize I can't have a great day every day. I mean, that's just, there has to be a night. There's a day, there's a night. There's a day, there's a night and day in your lives. So what do people do? Something happens to them. Oh, I must have did this wrong. I must have did that wrong. I did this. This is why this is happening to me. No, it's not. It's imagination. What do you know? You just have to go through the night. Now, when you're in the night, what do you have to do? You have to create the day. What would you want for the next day? Because these problems, tzimtzum is a lack of light. A lack of light is when you say, what's going on in this world? I can't understand it. But if I think negative thoughts, then I'm going to show you what you're doing. Then you're shutting off creation. That's the dangerous part. So you can ask somebody, what's today's date? You know what they're going to tell you? Oh, today's 2013. No, it's 2016. But you never get out of a problem in 2013. So you never made it past that day. That's your day. That's the day your life ended. 2013, January 15th, this problem came to you. You completely couldn't handle it. You fell down in that date, and that's who you are today. Your creation never began again. That next day never came for you because you got stuck in that day. That's what the Yetzer Hara wants you to do. When there's darkness, that's when you have to create, not say, oh my God, my life is over. Then you shut down. I see this in drug rehab. I see this in all the times. It's just people don't realize. How do you expect life to be all the time good for you? You can't. It's impossible. It's just physically impossible. So the more you understand, the more dat you have, the more you understand how to deal with life. Okay? So now you know you have two Yetzer, you have Yetzer Tov and Yetzer Hara. Any negative thoughts, your job is not to believe them, and it's to understand that it's coming from a negative place. My job is it's a negative place. It has nothing to do with me. I could dream right now that I'm in the middle of Paris. I could think about that. I'm not. I'm here. But if I think I'm in the middle of Paris, I'm going to start thinking about Paris. I'm here. I'm not there. So when you become mindful of what you're thinking about, that's how your life changes. So you don't believe. You don't believe anything that comes to you. Remember, we get 80% of our thoughts are negative. 80% of them. That's just the way your brain is wired. Just the way your brain is wired. And every day you have the same thought as yesterday. So the key is not to believe them. Okay, so let's continue. So when a person thinks evil thoughts, the scary thing is when you think evil thoughts, what do? You clog up your creation. Because your heart is the creator. So when I clog up, I have negative thoughts, what do? What am I doing? I'm clogging up my creation. That's where the danger comes. Because while I'm clogged up, I can never have anything good come to me. That's the scary part. As long as you're negative, you can never have anything good come to you because you never made that new creation. That's the problem. That's why you have to get out of states quickly. Yes, you could be upset for a little bit, but if you understand it, wow, what state am I in? That means I'm in a state that it's physically impossible for anything good to come to me as long as I'm in the state. So I got to do what? I got to circumcise my heart. I got to circumcise my heart because I'm the creator. Why would I want to create a situation that I never got out of? She says specifically good thoughts are the good inclination, bad thoughts are the evil inclination. A person's entire, listen to Rav Nachman's comment. Listen to this, it's very important. He's telling you here, a person's entire spiritual rectification as well as his utter ruin, God forbid, is dependent upon guarding the thoughts of your heart. That means your whole life is dependent on this. It's not like, yeah, it's good to be positive, it's good to think positively, I shouldn't be so negative. No. If you're negative, your creation stops. It's like you stop creation for yourself. How many people you know that are depressed and their life is like stuck, they're on halt. They can't get out of bed, they can't do this, they're stuck. Nothing's going on. Movie's over. It's like their life ended that day. That's what you got to be careful. That's what you have to understand. You have to understand now I'm going to give you the practical advice. So he says, when a person is careful to think about bad thoughts and he thinks good thoughts on how to serve God, his heart is transformed into, he creates that hollow space again. My job is to do one thing. My heart has to be hollow. I have to be open for good to come to me. As long as I'm open, good things can come to me because I can create. I have a vacated space so I can create my reality. I can create what I want for myself, not what I don't want for myself. As long as I'm closed, guess what? Can't do nothing. That's why you see this guy, his head he's so blocked, this guy. He's so negative. Nothing penetrates him because he stopped his creation. It's pretty scary. I was in that state and I was in situations, I'm like, oh my God, how am I going to get out of this problem? And the problem got worse and worse and worse until I said, you know what? I changed my mind, it's over. I pretended like it was over. So all of a sudden, I was reborn. That day I was reborn. And I attracted that creation. So look what he says here. When a person thinks good thoughts, it's like he's rectifying what? The whole entire creation. Imagine, for example, you say to yourself, you know, you had a rough day at work at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. From 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock, you got depressed. You said, I can't take this anymore. I don't know what to do in my life. I can't take this business. All of a sudden at 4 o'clock you said, you know what? I have a solution. I can get out of this. 4 o'clock you were just reborn again. Because what did you do? You took out the dalit, you took out the negative thoughts, and you created an opening for yourself, and now you have an opportunity. So look at this example I'm going to show you. And this is the concept between dalit and hey. So we know God's name is what? Yud, K, Vav, K. The last hey, if you think negative, what happens to the last hey? This is the last hey. We had this commission for the Breslov sentence, so everybody could see. It's a big hey, right? When you think a negative thought, it's like you close the door to your life. So this yud, you shut it off. So the name's incomplete. The name becomes incomplete. Dalit stands for dalut, poor. Dalit also means door. You close the door on your life. As long as the door is closed, there's your creation. Bottom line, as long as the door is closed, you have to think every time you think you're in a negative state, what do you have to do? Oh my God, I'm in a dalit. I got to get out of the state. I'm clogged, my heart is clogged. I got to do what? Unclog it. And bring the Yud. What does the Yud represent? A good thought. Yud represents Chokhmah, means a thought. So the minute I bring the Yud into the Dalid, I'm doing Teshuvah. What is Teshuvah? Teshuv, hey, returning the hay. You understand this? I'm returning the hay to my life. I'm returning God. I see the negative in the situation. I see the light at the end of the tunnel. When you see the light at the end of the tunnel, you just brought the Yud into your life. You just completed the hay. Your life is new. Brand new life. Brand new life. I do this 10 times a day. A problem comes to me. Oh my God, what am I going to do with this problem? No, stop it. I can't be negative. I'm clogging up my energy. I need to be open. Oh, Hashem, now I know why this happened to me. And let's create the solution. So when you get yourself in this, that's why I had this painting commissioned. So I could stare at it all day long and see, oh my God, I'm thinking like a Dalit. Right away I get myself out of the state. Specifically, we have 2 in the Breslov Center, so people could stare at it. Remember, you're thinking negatively, you're a state of a Dalit. You're taking Hashem's name and discompleting it. So this is the whole work. This is your whole life is in this picture. In a little bit in a form. So the minute you're thinking negative, you're in a Dalit. You cut off Hashem's name. Your job is to sanctify. Add the Yud. This is the Yud. When you add the Yud, you return the hay. You do Teshuvah. You did Teshuvah on what? What are you doing Teshuvah on? On how you were thinking. On how you were thinking. I gave people examples all the time. Sometimes you have to get hit with monetary. Sometimes you sin. We sin all the time. So Hashem hits us with a little hit. If you say, you know what, Hashem, I realized I deserve to get that hit. Thank you. It's not my health. You just created the Dalit and you made it an opportunity. You accepted it. And then you just recreated your life. That's the goal of life. To constantly be aware what state you're in. Where am I holding right now? Am I in a Dalit? Am I in a hay? Because I'm creating. Now, if you're good, you're going to get out of that state in 5 minutes. If you get sloppy, you're going to get out of that state in 5 days. That's why you said, ask people, where were you? No, I went through a tzimtzum. I'm stuck. What happened? So I said, explain to me what happened. All of a sudden, I told them how good the situation was for them. All of a sudden, oh, you're right. I didn't see it that way. I didn't see it. I didn't see my perception. Wow. And all of a sudden, the guy has energy, and he's like, he created the whole creation. That's why he's telling you here. You can actually create miracles. He says, furthermore, if he purifies his heart, banishing it from bad thoughts and thinking good thoughts, he will thereby merit to be able to renew the act of creation and to perform miracles. That's what you have the power to do. It's very powerful if you understand this. And I tell you something, it works. And think about what happens when you worry. When you worry about your parasa, what happens? Your brain contracts and you can't get out of a problem. Only when you change your state. That's where Nachman says, even if you have to stand on the floor and be happy, you got to do it because you never get out of a problem in a negative state. You know why? Because when you're in a negative state, who's got you? The Yetzer Hara. The Yetzer Hara is what? He's going to give you doubts. He's going to tell you how bad your life is. He's going to tell you everything you don't want to hear. But guess what? Don't go out of bounds. Get yourself back in bounds. The quicker you're able to be mindful, not to fall in the state, then you're not sending negative signals upstairs. You're not creating a disaster for your life. So think about in your life situations where you were negative and you saw the good points. You shouldn't need Steve Jobs to tell you, by the way, at the end of life, all the points are going to cross together and you're going to see how great life is. Did you everybody heard that speech? He tells you at the end of life, all the buttons are going to, every point is going to come together and you're going to see what's all for the best. I always tell people, one day I'm going to laugh at this. One day I'm going to laugh at this. Start laughing now. Why are you waiting until one day? Why are you waiting until one day? If you believe you're going to laugh, start laughing now. Why do you have to wait one day to laugh about something? It's a very, 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 very powerful Torah. And you have to get yourself to be mindful. That's why If you start getting, your emotions come from the heart. The emotions is what's going to make a situation worse. You have to discipline your emotions. I can't express that more. I've never seen such emotional people in my life. I've never seen such emotional people. I've never seen a phenomenon. Maybe because when you pick up your game, you start realizing, wow, look at this guy. One day, at 10 o'clock, one little problem is screaming, and this. He's destroying his life. I already told you guys what's happening when you have fear and anxiety, what it's doing to your body. Where do you think all these sicknesses come from? Where do you think all these sicknesses? Why do you think you have no energy? People have no energy. Why don't they have energy? Because they're constantly shooting cortisol. Boom, 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 boom. Fight or flight. Every minute is like is a zoo in this guy's life. You know, the fight or flight was supposed to be used in case a lion was chasing you. But here, I know people that they have a zoo in their house. They have 10 lions chasing them. Every lion's chasing them. Because you know what? The minute the Yetzer Hara wants you to do is, you have one negative thought, you're going to ask yourself what? What else can go wrong today? There you go. What are you creating now? My day can't get any worse than this. It's impossible. Oh, really? Let me show you how. I'll show you in 5 minutes when you get a flat tire on the highway how bad your day's getting. No. I can't believe this. I can't believe this. Yes, believe it. You are creating that reality for yourself. This is so important. You guys have to take this, take a picture of it, do what you have to do, make a dalid, do what you have to do. Do what you have to do, and this is your whole life is dependent on this. That means you have to see God in the darkness. The whole purpose of God coming is to reveal Himself. To reveal Himself through the darkness. You know, if God promises to get out of Egypt, that means when somebody promises you something, it's because you're going to have a doubt whether it's going to come true or not. You're going to have to embrace faith and discipline your emotions. That's such a key, and this is the key to everything. It's the key to your whole life. It's the key to your marriage. When you get into a situation with the spouse and you start saying, "Oh, I'm going to get a divorce. There's no way. This is over." It's a negative thought. You have to say, "No, I can go through this. It's just an opportunity to rebuild the marriage." Every time in businesses, I had my business one time that it was a big simsum, it was big darkness. I'm like, I don't understand what's going on with this business. And from that opportunity, it made me say, you know what, let me look for another business also. And from that, I got my new business to open. So when you're in the darkness, your job is to look for opportunities and create what you want for yourself. Not create a disaster, not create a turmoil, not create that's the problem. It's not about, oh, I'm positive, I'm negative. I have to leave my heart open. You have to be open to receive. You agree? You can't receive if you're not open. If a person's like this, I don't want to hear what you have to say. The guy's closed. His body chemistry is telling you, I'm closed. I don't want to hear what you have to say. You have to be open. That means my heart has to be open. If my heart is open, I create. I create what I want. But you're going to get the tzimtzum all the time. That means every single day, God creates a tzimtzum. That's why the day starts as night, and then in the afternoon you see the energy drops. If you see why in the morning, it's very easy for people to pray in the morning, right? They pray in the morning, they're happy, but once the afternoon comes, you see everybody's faces like this. The face is like you need like a chiropractor. Everybody's faces like they drop because there's a lack of light. That's why in Mincha, it's considered the poor man's offering. Because you're in a tzimtzum. You're in a contraction. So the first thing is to understand you're in a tzimtzum. Understand right now it's a time of constriction. I have to build. It's not a time to chase a falling knife down. Don't get stuck thinking this is the way it's going to be forever. It's not going to be forever. It's just the night. We know 10 o'clock, common sense, oh my God, the light's going to be dark forever? No. So the sun comes up at 3 o'clock, at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, and that's the same thing that parallels in a person's life. It's creation reborn. You're going to have peaks in business, you're going to have contractions. You're going to have another peak, you're going to have contractions. The key is the contractions, don't turn that contraction into the end of your life. Anybody can ride the high, unless you're crazy. Anybody can ride when things are going great. I can be so positive, everything's great. Baruch Hashem, you're doing everybody favors. Baruch Hashem, Baruch Hashem, Baruch Hashem. One contraction, lose my number. Lose my number. Do you want to come? Come to shul. No, I can't. It's not for me. But yesterday was for you. No, I can't. I had a rough day. So how are you going to get out of that rough day? By sinking yourself to a depression? By thinking yourself into a depression? So this is a very powerful Torah. I use this Torah constantly. And I ask the people, do me a favor. The first thing I tell them, do you understand right now what you're creating for yourself? I don't even want to give you advice until I get you to open up your heart and put Hashem in the picture. Because right now the name's incomplete. Yud Kei Vav Dalet. What are you going to do with Yud Kei Vav Dalet? God can't help you right now until you create that new opening, until you create that new airspace, you create that new opening. You find God in the darkness. Everybody's been through situations where they probably said to themselves, wow, now I know where this happened to me. Right? Everybody saw a situation that looked terrible. At the end of the day, it was the greatest thing that ever happened to you. Right? How long did it take you to get out of that state though? 6 months, a year? So 6-7 months, person wasted. That's why you have to have emunah. Without emunah, you can't live. How do you live without emunah? If you're looking for a religion that uses logic, you got the wrong one. There's no logic to this religion. This is blind faith. You're in a blind faith where you don't see the light because you're creating that time. You're creating. When God creates that simsum, your job is to do one thing. Make sure you're positive, that your heart is open, because your heart is the tzayar, is the creator, and fill it in with whatever you would want to happen. Vision it happening. Vision it. For example, I use an example ourselves. We had a situation, a lawsuit with an insurance company. So I saw, wow, this must be an opportunity. Something good has to come out of this. Opportunity was, I realized my company wasn't so organized. That had to be fixed. So I realized through that darkness, wow, you know what? Thank God for this. If it wasn't for this, I wouldn't realize that this person's stealing, that person is. So through that darkness, I was creating a new company. So once I got out of that simsum, I realized, wow, this is the greatest. If it wasn't for this happening, how would I be able to fix this today? But you have to go. To create, you have to destroy. God has to remove himself from that picture and create that new. How many times a person's done a shidduch, he's upset that it didn't work out. Maybe that wasn't meant for you. So create already the new shidduch. Your job is to create. Yes, you can create. That's how powerful you are. But the Yetzer Hara is telling you, no, you're nobody, you can't create nothing. What are you talking about creation? Just showed you 5 sources that you can create every single day. So it's a vital class, and I can't. This should be on your door all the time. This Dalit versus the Hay. I can't. I use this as a visionary all the time. And believe me, I know what to look at. I know what works. This works because you catch yourself and you realize, oh, the Yetzer Hara's got me. I don't say there's nothing wrong with me. Nothing's wrong with me right now. But he's trying to get me to think negative in that simsum. He's trying to get me to picture the worst situation for my life. Like I said before, people always focus on what they don't want to happen, not what they want to happen. So the minute I get simsums, which I get them all the time, I'm able to do what? Get out of that state, vision already what I would want to happen when I'm out of it, and guess what? It usually does. It usually does. And what I do is I say, you know what? The minute I'm out of this problem, I'm going to throw. We had a thing in the Breslov Center. I'm going to vision having a party with 5 cheesecakes. You know why? Because I trigger my mind, and we have witnesses to this. There was a big problem I had this year. All I can vision every day was getting myself out of the problem and throwing a party with 5 cheesecakes. And all I was obsessed with was not the problem, was where am I going to get the cheesecakes from? Where am I going to get them from? Should I get the strawberry cheesecake? Should I get the blueberry? Maybe I should go here. Because I wanted to occupy my mind. I'm already out of the problem. I don't care. This is not a problem for me. I'm already out. So all I was thinking was that cheesecake, 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 until I couldn't stop saying cheesecake, and guess what? I ate the cheesecake. I ate the cheesecake. And I have witnesses to this. And I even told them, before the problem, guys, get ready to eat cheesecake. Because I knew it was a contraction. And the Gemara says something very beautiful. When you put Hashem as a partner in constriction, when you put Hashem as a partner in distress, double the money will come flying at you. Double the money will come flying at you. So sometimes in order to make double the money, you have to go through the constriction. You have to dig for the gold. And I always tell people, you don't want pressure, you can't have diamonds. The only way to have the diamonds is you got to have pressure. You don't want to have pressure, you're not going to have diamonds. So all I was thinking about is cheesecake party, envisioning the cheesecake party, and boom, boom, all the day long. Nothing but cheesecake. And the minute the negative thought says, oh my God, you're not going to get out of this. Oh my God, look what's going to happen. No, I'm having a cheesecake party. I kept on changing. And I was obsessed with cheesecake. Because I know the power of the mind. And that's what I created. I created that I would have a cheesecake party with 5 types of cheesecake. And I got not just, I'll have cheesecake. No. I wanted it from this place. I wanted that from that place. I went with the chocolate swirl, with the strawberry thing, blah, blah, blah. Just to get my mind already in cheesecake mode, not in problem mode. So you need an anchor. You need an anchor. What would you do when you're out of the tzimtzum, when you're out of the constriction? What would you do for yourself? Reward yourself with something. Say, I'm going to go to Bal Harbor. I'm going to go here. I'm going to go shopping. Start picturing the purse you would buy. Start picturing whatever you need a trigger. So whenever you get into that state, oh, it's not going to work out? Yes, it is. I'm going to Bal Harbor. You change your state. You change your state. You change your state. And then you're already so obsessed with the solution, the problem goes away. Because you don't give energy. We spoke about today. Remember, problems need energy to survive. Where is your energy? Where energy goes, wherever focus goes, energy flows. So I want to be focused on, I want to put my energy on a solution, not on a problem. Because I don't want to destroy my creation. And that's what Emunah is. Emunah is to find Hashem in the darkness. But we need tools. You know, you can go to another shiur, they tell you, yeah, think positive, think that'll be great, things will come, positive things will come. No, I'm going to tell you, you're going to get times where you're going to need to visualize, you need visualizations in your brain. People need the best that I've seen people is when they're able to use practical tools and say, oh, dollar versus the hay. Turn the dollar into the hay. Do teshuvah for your thoughts. Because remember, when you have a negative thoughts, you have to do teshuvah for it. It's not just, what, you're thinking about something, it just goes away. I have to do teshuvah on what I thought Hashem was doing for me. So I have to realize I'm in a state of dalut. Recognize first that you're negative. Then bring Hashem into the picture, and then you're doing teshuvah for the negativity. And then you just go back into that state. So this is honestly, this Torah is the key to life. I can't tell you it's the key to, honestly, Rav Nachman clearly said, your whole life is dependent upon this. He lost his wife teaching this Torah. His wife died. When he revealed this to the world, his wife died. That's how big of a Torah it is. So now we do believe. You are where your thoughts are. You are where your thoughts are. And it's a Jewish concept. It's not a Christian concept. This is a Jewish concept. You didn't think Rav Nachman could write like this 250 years ago. But this is like you would write it in a book today. So that's the key to the class. Anybody have any questions? So remember, one more thing he says. When you're thinking bad thoughts, God forbid, what are you doing? He's saying here, you're creating what? Stupidity in the heart. Which is you're creating what? You're clogging up your heart. So you got to do a foreskin. You got to circumcise your heart. Circumcise your heart. First thing is the circumcision. Circumcise your heart. Because that's where it's all happening. At the heart. The heart is the creator. You were born with 2 yuds. Turn the dalet into a hay. Alright? Anybody have any questions? Yes.
I've heard a lot of